Okay, so welcome back from the break. You're still watching This Morning on Metro TV. I am Desmond Ocran. You can call me Desifading the Star Boy. And I've got a conversation coming up with two guests. Paul Kwesi Ocran is a sustainability consultant, and also Dennis Papa Odenyi Quansah is a green building lead, IFC World Bank Group. And this morning we're talking green building, and we're not talking about a building that is painted green. No, far from that. This is, about the environment, and they're here to give us some explanation to that particular topic, that is green building. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you. Let's begin with the green building thing. When someone hears green building, the painting or a building that is painted green, but there's more to it than just that. Let us know what green building is about.
Yeah, of course. Some people think it's a building painted green, but that's not really the case. When we talk of green buildings, we are looking at buildings that do not have a greater negative impact on the environment.
Okay.
Right? Because any building at all that you put up definitely will have some impact, some negative impact. But then for green buildings, it has some measures in there that helps to reduce that particular impact that it's going to have on the environment. So that's what we talk about when we mention green buildings. Yeah.
What are some of those measures you're talking about that make them green?
So it's got to do with measures that will reduce the amount of energy you would use in the building. Measures that would reduce the amount of water that's being used in the building. So let's say for a typical building, you'll be looking at making sure your orientation is right, so that the sun doesn't hit the building too much, so that even during the day, the temperature in there would be cool enough. You do not have to put on your lights every time. It should be such that you can really use the natural lighting, right? When it comes to ventilation, you should be able to use natural ventilation. So the building is designed such that you do not have to depend so much on artificial lighting or artificial cooling. And even when you have to use lighting, can we look at energy efficient lights?
Okay.
Right. If you have to use air conditioners, can we look at using an air conditioner that has a better efficiency? Right. So these are some of the things that we look at. When it comes to water, having low flow taps that would regulate the amount of water that you use at any given time. Harvesting rainwater. You see, a lot of these are stuff that we're doing in the olden days. Okay. Yes, but then for some reason we stopped it.
Modernity.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So that's what we want to bring back when we talk about green buildings. Yeah.
Oh, let me come to you, a sustainability consultant. How important is this for us as a country to begin to look at green building as part of us, as people want to put up buildings, people want to do a lot of things, but may not have that understanding of the green building?
Yeah, thanks so much. It's now it's very critical for us to go green, and we agree about the impact of climate change we are facing now, and very key and critical aspect is the issue of buildings. We spend most of our times in buildings as well, and actually buildings account for around 38% of the global energy demand as well, and this also falls in line with all with the global programs around the Paris Agreement, where by 2030 we will need to have all our new buildings going green, and by 2050 all our existing and new buildings going green. So it's very critical in terms of fighting climate change at the global level and even at the local level. We have, you will agree, we have a huge housing deficit problem, and if we want to bridge this kind of gap, over 2 million housing unit gap we have, if we want to bridge it, literally this is literally translating into energy as well, because if we are able to even deploy this number of buildings, what is the amount of energy we are going to be using in powering this building? Okay. We will need another thermal power plant of 5,000 megawatt, or if we are able to design these buildings green, will we need maybe half of that investment in our country's portfolio. So this it is both financial decision benefit as well, and both a very critical aspect in fighting the issue of climate change as well.
Dennis, in the concept of green building, there's something called EDGE. I want you to throw more light on that for us.
So EDGE means excellence in design for greater efficiencies. It's a program that was designed by the IFC, and I'm sure you know IFC as the private sector arm of the World Bank Group. And basically, IFC's mandate is to support private sector in developing countries to thrive, right? So we come up with innovations, right? And one of the innovations that we've come up with is the EDGE program, whereby we are looking at, okay, is there a way we can support developing countries to also go green? Well, there are other certification programs similar to EDGE. I'm sure you may have heard about LEED, Green Star, BREEAM. They are all similar to EDGE. However, EDGE was done just by the World Bank Group to make it very simple and easy for developers that want to build green, right? So that's where it is. Now, EDGE basically comes with a free software, which is online. People can have access to it to design their projects. You don't need to be an experienced architect or an engineer. Anybody at all, I could go in there and simulate my project to see what measures I can put in there to make it green. How can I reduce my energy bills? How can I reduce my water bills? I can go in there and then use it. And then if I'm going to reduce my energy bills and water bills, what will be the incremental cost of going green? So the software is a very easy and simple one, and it's available for everyone to use. If you go to the EDGE website, you'll be able to have it to use it. And then apart from that, the EDGE program itself works with financial institutions. I'm sure as you are well aware, for IFC, we are a development organization. We work with financial institutions ordinarily. But what we're doing is, can we use the facilities that we give to these financial institutions to promote green, in that these financial institutions would also then focus on providing the support to developers that want to go green. And then in our own direct investment into the building sector, can we influence the way developers want to build by making a condition for them to go green? We also work with governments by supporting them to come up with policies. Right, so if you may have heard the Ghana Building Code, which was done in 2018, we provided support for that to be done. And in there, we made sure that there was a chapter on green building. Right, so there's a lot that the program does. Apart from the certification bit, yes, which we are working with developers. Currently, there are close to 17 or 18 projects in Ghana that has been certified green using the EDGE software. Right. So yes, we believe there should be more. We should get more projects being certified, because green building is a very important thing. So we really want to get a lot more developers to get it done. Yeah.
There was the EDGE competition in 2019. Yes. How did that go? And tell us about the next one.
So that was a maiden one. That was just for us to test the market to see how students would be interested in doing, in designing green, right? So that we did with Central University. It was just open to only Central University. But then for this particular one, it's open to all universities, all students that are in the built environment profession, and then not just students, recent graduates within the last 2 or 3 years. They can also participate. Now, the whole idea is, can they come up with a design that is very, very green, right, using the EDGE software. Right, and then it doesn't end there. We've introduced a course called DFG.
DFG. Yes,
Design for Greater Efficiency. So that's a course that students and young professionals in the built environment can take. It helps them to understand what green building is, and then also to be able to communicate that idea to people, the concept, so that if they go into the working world, they are speaking with other colleagues from other parts of the world. they shouldn't be disadvantaged because they don't understand what green building is,
okay.
right? So they should be able to communicate it to them. So that's what the DFG is all about. So the students and then the young professionals taking part in this competition would be introduced to the DFG. They'll be introduced to the EDGE program as well, and then they can use it to come up with a project that is green.
Okay, we'll talk about the mode of application in a bit. But Paul, I want to ask how important, or why should students be a part of this competition?
Yeah, because critically, they will be forming part of the future consultants in the years to come in fighting this issue of climate change and green building.
Okay.
And it is very important for us to really inculcate this concept into them at this early stage, because at this early stage they are able to form their own ideas or even come up with more innovative ideas in addressing these issues we are trying to solve. So critically, they form part of the building block, and which is very key in terms of the knowledge gap, in terms of being able to innovate as well, and in terms of being able to scale the green building products in the market.
Okay, that's great. So if you just you're watching this morning here on Metro Television, my guests are Paul Kwesi, Ocran, a sustainability consultant, and Dennis Papa Odenyi Quansah. He is a green building lead, IFC, the World Bank Group, and we're talking about green building and the competition that comes with it. How does anyone get to be a part of the competition?
So we are doing a launch today, this evening.
Okay.
So once we do the launch, we would publish the details.
Okay.
But then basically, students that are interested, first of all, would have to register for the DFG course, which is also a free course online.
Okay.
And then once they are done, then they can submit their details on our website. So we would release the details on our website, which is www.edgebuildings.com.
Okay.
We release the details there, and then we would also share the details on other social media networks. I'm sure
you have your platforms.
Yes, we have platforms that we will look at. So they would then be able to register and then participate. Now, apart from the student part, and then the young professional part, there is a second part of the competition, which is the Green Building Awards.
Green Building Awards,
yes.
Okay.
Where we are asking professionals in the built environment to submit projects that they have worked on, projects that have actually been built and completed. It could be this particular building, but then the architect or the project team would submit and then show us the key sustainability measures in that building that they think makes it green. Okay. Right. So we would have a panel of judges that would vet all these projects and then come up with, okay, this is the best project in Ghana or so that. So it's also very interesting. We are combining the two together.
Okay. Where's the launch taking place?
It's taking place in Cantonment at the Green Park.
Oh, Green Park at
Cantonment. Green Park in Cantonment, yes. So it's actually in the Cantonment City area, just between the PwC building and then the Canon building. Yeah.
And the time is?
It's this evening at 5 o'clock.
5.
Yeah.
And is everyone invited?
Well, it's an invitation-only event. Yes. If you are interested, you could always get in touch with us, and then we'll send you an invite. Okay.
Any number you want to put out, and then I take the final words from Paul.
Yeah. So you could always send an email to dquansah@ifc.org. Yes, you can send an email to me, and then we would make sure you get an invitation to attend. Yeah.
Okay. And on social media, you got?
No, so it's basically via email.
Via email.
Yes. Okay. Send the details to me via email, and then we'll be able to get to you.
Oh, anything you want to add?
Just to add that we have the tools for green buildings through the edgebuildings.com. It's free. Go there and use it for your homes, hotels, building, offices. It's free. It's powerful. It's robust, and it will save you some money.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this morning on set. So now you understand the concept of green building. We need to make sure that in everything that we put But when it comes to buildings, we have that green aspect as part of it. So Paul Kwesi Ocran is a sustainability consultant, and Dennis Papa Odenyi Quansah is a green building lead, IFC of the World Bank Group.